Thanks for joining us on our panel back there.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, that's all good. The question that I wanted to ask you was about, so you're a TikTok creator, but you're also a theatre performer.
Yes.
So you had a background in theatre before you moved to TikTok, correct?
I did. So I was writing cabaret shows before we went into lockdowns and I joined TikTok, but I was writing songs, performing my own cabaret, Baby Bye Bye Bye, which was a cabaret about being a bisexual woman, which we toured around Australia with my two creative partners at the time, Eddie and Belle. And then Victoria went into our first snap lockdown and I was like, well, I'm losing a part of my income stream and I've kind of got nothing to do other than sit at home and make banana bread. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna make a funny video. And I truly made it not thinking it would go viral. I just made it to honestly have something to do to pass the time.
Yeah.
And it went viral and I went, okay, well, I'll do another one. And I did another comedy video and then that went viral and I went, all right, well, I've actually got nothing to do. So I just kind of kept going. And then from there, on the side, I was also writing my new show, No Hat No Play, with my now creative partner, Mel, and working on that, and then was able to perform that and bring a whole audience of people that followed me on TikTok and loved all the nostalgic content about primary school. And I said, well, if you've enjoyed this, then come along to my live show. And then me and Mel have started to build our brand in that way. But yeah, I was a writer and theatre maker and performer first, and then content creator second. But I love them equally.
And now bringing your audience from being a content creator over to your live performance.
Yeah. And I was speaking before on the panel. My favourite people that I meet are the people that come to, a little theatre in Melbourne at 9:45 in the pissing rain and have never seen a comedy show before and are like, I found you funny on TikTok. I brought my mum so I could get in because it's an 18+ venue. I've never seen a cabaret show before, but I like cabaret now, because I think sometimes, and it's great, but I think theatre can sometimes be inaccessible or maybe some people think it's not for them. They go, I'm not a theatre kid, or I don't really get theatre, or they see one show that maybe tarnishes their idea of how theatre can be really cool and fun and accessible and chill, I don't know, and then they'll come along to the show and be like, oh, it's not like you're just being a dickhead on stage. I'm like, yeah, it's the same as TikTok. It's just I'm on a live stage and I've got a backing track as opposed to a green screen. So they're my favourite people that I meet.
Yeah. That's kind of touching on what I was about to go on to is I think that a lot of people who post on any social platform, but especially TikTok, a lot of young people don't think of themselves as creatives or as performers or as artists, and they see it as inaccessible and separate when really it's the same skills you're tapping into. So I guess that's my question is how do you think that we can use, not just TikTok, how do you think we in general can get young people identifying as creatives more and owning that and using those skills?
I think the best thing about TikTok is it encourages play and just to have fun and to just play. And you know what, if you try something out and it's a bit left of field and you're like, I just want to try it out and have fun, and it doesn't do well, it doesn't matter. You can delete it or it can still sit there. I have some videos that have bombed that I think are the funniest videos that I've made, but it just didn't resonate or didn't go viral, and that's fine. I think it's really important for people to feel like they can play and they can have fun, and the app is it's an entertainment app first and a social app second.
One more thing to ask you and then we
do.
can bounce. But I think it's really interesting, a room full of older people who run youth organisations are so entranced by TikTok and they want a piece of that world because they see it as a young person's world. But also when we see organisations, when you see brands go on social platforms, the first thing that will happen is young people will tear them to shreds. They love to make fun of brands for trying to get involved in that space. So I guess how do we do it in an authentic way? How do we engage our audiences authentically so it's not okay brand? You know?
I know exactly the ads that you're talking about, and it's so funny. I just love how brutal Gen Z is. They're like, this ain't it, and the brand's like, but we just put 20 grand towards this. And I know. I hate it, and they're like, no. I think theatre companies and youth organisations, arts organisations have to have a lot of trust in the people that are the backbone of the app, which is youth, which is Gen Z and millennials, zillennials. But Gen Z, they know how the app works. They know what's trending to the point where you could, like you could upload a video with a song that was trending actually a week ago and people would sniff it and be like, it doesn't feel quite right. Like they know, they are so in the zeitgeist, they know what's cool, they know what's trending, they know what's funny. To trust them, but then also on the like other side of the coin, to not exploit that. And we were speaking in the panel before, someone brought up a really good point about, you know, people having to make TikToks on top of their contract of being in a show but not being paid for it. And that's a really important thing to try and find a little bit of budget to say to your like performers within the cast, like, hey, we really value you as a performer. We also think that you would have a great skill set to help us promote this show or start up our TikTok page. Would you be interested? And like writing that into the contract so that that performer feels like empowered as well and isn't exploited. But yeah, I think as well by having like young people as the face of the company, it's less likely for Gen Z to tear it to shreds, as opposed to when a brand is like just showing you all these different shots of a microwave with shit music underneath and a random text slapped on top of it, and you're like, it just reads as like inauthentic. It's a hard thing though to balance that.
Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you. Fund the arts.
Perhaps.
I've always said that. Give the arts more money. To anyone watching this, write a check.
Ooh, I've always said that.
I've always said that. Write a check.
And I stand by that.
And I stand by that.